make the ultimate spaghetti Jeannie Young style. This recipe is super simple, doesn't require a lot of ingredients. If you make it Jeannie Young style, you'll love your spaghetti. Here's what you're gonna need. You're gonna need some meat. I have an 80-20 ground beef and it's 1 pound. Of course you could use ground turkey if you wanted to. I also have some ground breakfast meat. We're gonna be using a nice sweet Vidalia onion and fresh garlic. Not the kind of garlic that comes in the jar. We're gonna use some spaghetti noodles, of course, Parmesan cheese and your favorite spaghetti sauce, some spices to bring it together to make it taste good. We're gonna be using salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder, paprika, Italian seasoning if you love it, and of course we're gonna use sugar. Make sure your hands are clean. Let's make spaghetti that tastes delicious. I hope you all are having a great day today, and if you're not, hopefully I can brighten up your day with this recipe. Tell me, when is the last time you had spaghetti? But spaghetti that tastes good. If it's been a while, it's time you get in that kitchen and make your family some spaghetti. They love it. And you're definitely gonna love this recipe. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take that full pound of the ground breakfast sausage. We're gonna put it right in with that 1 pound of ground beef. We're gonna get it to start cooking. Now what you're gonna see during this cooking process is I'm gonna be seasoning the meat and vegetables as they cook, and then I'm gonna season the sauce once we put it in. So 2 times we'll season this recipe. It's time to chop up some vegetables. It's up to you whether you saute these before you put them into your meat, or you can just do like I'm doing today. I'm gonna put the vegetables right in with the meat. It's gonna give great flavor just like so. I love to put bell peppers, onions, and mushrooms if I can find them into my recipe. It really just amps up the flavor and makes it nice and beautiful with all of the colors. All right, so we're just gonna chop it down in such a manner, not too big, not too small, just like so. Quick and simple. Get our bell peppers right into the same pan with the meat. And then we're gonna chop up some onions. This is a medium-sized onion. I'm gonna cut about half of it. I don't wanna overwhelm the recipe with too much onion, but you need that onion, especially a nice sweet Vidalia onion. Chef's kiss every time. I couldn't be more excited for this recipe. It's been a minute since I made spaghetti and my family was begging for it. They said, can you make spaghetti? I said, absolutely. I would be honored to make spaghetti because when I make it, it tastes spectacular. Growing up, I used to love watching my dad make his spaghetti. His spaghetti was the best. And he did the bell peppers, the onions, the mushrooms, and it was just so lovely. But what my dad did different from how I make my spaghetti is he would serve his separate. And what I mean by separate is the sauce would be separate and the noodles would be at the bottom, you know, of your plate, and then he would pour the sauce on the top. That's actually how I like my spaghetti. But my family, they like the spaghetti mix, so I mix it. I'm gonna be serving this spaghetti with some delicious cornbread. Now, when I make spaghetti, it's either one or the other. It's either fresh garlic bread baked in the oven, or today my husband wanted cornbread, so I'm excited about that too because it's different. We used to have the garlic bread, you know. Next, I'm gonna show you my secret, but it's not a secret for so long because I'm telling you right now. You need fresh garlic. Fresh garlic, I'm going to use about a large clove. Since this is medium, I got a little clove here. So now, I take the side of my knife here, and then give it a nice whack like that. And what it does is it helps to release the skin off of the garlic. Otherwise, you'll be like trying to peel this garlic for days. But when you do that, the skin comes right off. Okay, so now that we have our skin off, here's what we want to do. Let's go ahead with our knife. We want to chop this up. Nobody wants to bite down to a big piece of garlic. What we're going to do with this garlic is magic. We're going to turn around and put this fresh garlic clove right into a pan of oil. It's about 1.5 tablespoons of oil, any cooking oil that you use. Put it right in here. We want to crisp it up, get it nice and fried. When it's golden brown, turn the stove off. What we're trying to create is a garlic infused oil that we pour into our sauce, and it makes your sauce the boss. And people's gonna wonder, why does the sauce taste so good? It's the garlic infused oil. It's time to use my handy dandy masher here. A subscriber purchased this for me in 2017, and this by far is one of my favorite gifts. It seems like I almost use it every day. And all you have to do with a little twist of your wrist is just mash your meat down and it chops it up. If you don't have this, of course, you can always use the side of your spatula just like so. I love the fact that we turn around and mix the 1 pound of breakfast sausage with that 1 pound of ground beef. It makes for your spaghetti to taste spectacular every time. So I also do that when I'm making a lasagna. It's super delicious when you mix the two together. Person that takes your spaghetti and you break it, if you are, stop it. Don't do it. I used to do that years ago. I don't do it anymore. All right, so now I'm using about 1.5 pounds of my noodles. My water has been salted. I plan on cooking these noodles for only 11 minutes. When you cook them for 11 minutes, they turn out to perfection. Al dente, which is chewy to the tooth and never mushy. But once they begin to start to wilt, you can go in and stir them. But guess what? No oil in here. Don't put oil in there. And if you do, your sauce won't stick to your noodles. I'll show you what the garlic is supposed to look like. If you let this garlic get too dark, it's going to have a sour taste. So don't let it get too dark. Nice, beautiful golden brown, and then turn the stove off. And we'll set that aside. Don't get rid of the oil, because that oil and the garlic is what we're going to pour into our sauce once we mix the meat and sauce together. Our meat is almost done, and once it's done, you want to be sure to drain your meat free from any oil. I'll show you what our meat looks like. I'm really sure always to take my time to chop the meat up, you know, because we're not making spaghetti and meatballs. We want the meat to be nice and ground up, just like so we don't have big, huge pieces in our sauce. I told you your noodles would begin to wilt down. That's what they look like when they begin to wilt. You always want to give them a nice stir, and the reason why is because you don't want them to stick. There's so many people out there that thinks, well, I'll put some oil in my noodles and they won't stick. That is a true statement. They won't stick. But like I said, I want to reiterate that your sauce won't stick to them if you put oil in here. Putting our sauce in. I've already put 1 jar in. And I'm going to put about 3/4 of this jar in. There are some times where I make spaghetti and I put a little bit of tomato paste in there. If you want to do that, it really amps up the flavor and gives it a nice rich flavor. I just didn't have any today. I'm putting sugar in. And for those that don't want to use sugar, look away. Look away. All right, is that enough to make it taste sweet? Absolutely not. It's not going to be sweet. It's going to be delicious. Trust me. Okay, so I'm going right in with Italian seasoning. I want to taste it. And here's the thing. If you don't have Italian seasoning, you can always use fresh basil or dried basil. Delicious. I'm going to put some red pepper flakes in, but it's not enough to knock your socks off, right? I ain't trying to knock anybody's socks off with the heat. I want you to just be able to, you know, feel the heat in the back of the palate. We're going to go in with onion and garlic powder, and on purpose, we're using a nice amount. We want this thing to taste good, right? Absolutely we do. Going in, just like so. This is black pepper. So far we've used the onion, the garlic, the Italian seasoning, red pepper flakes, black pepper. We're going to use some salt, and of course we use the sugar. You can decide to omit the sugar if you want. Let's give this a nice stir. Let's go ahead and do it now. And the next thing we're going to do, we're taking that garlic infused oil, and it goes right into the sauce. Then we have to get them nice and drained. All right, so now we're going to put that oil and the garlic. It's not a lot of oil. Don't use too much oil. Like I said, I have about 1.5 tablespoons. It's not going to make this recipe oily by far. All right. Oh, y'all, I'm doing this because I wish you could smell it right now. The whole house smells amazing. They're cooked to perfection. Let's get them drained. Now, if you want to rinse them off, you can, but you don't have to. It's really up to your discretion. How delicious does this sauce look? It looks delicious, and it's not runny. At any time should your sauce be runny. It shouldn't be watery. Look at this. Now, here's what you must do. You have to do it. You got to taste your food so you know what you're feeding to your loved ones. I'm not aiming for the meat and vegetables. I want to taste the sauce and see if my sauce is the boss and if it tastes good. And if for some reason it's not seasoned to perfection, I'm going to season that thing again. Let's taste. spectacular. Serving this recipe with cornbread today, we better make some up. So inside of here, I do have some sugar because I like my short cornbread a little bit sweetened. I don't like it super sweet, but I don't want it to be all the way savory, just a touch of sugar. Okay, so I'm gonna put my eggs in, and I'm gonna put my milk in, and I have a greased oven-proof pan behind me that we're going to bake this in, and I'm gonna be baking this on 350 degrees. There are some times where I'll take some shredded cheese, throw it in there, put some bacon bits and throw it in there. Do what you can to make your cornbread taste delicious. I like to let my spaghetti sauce simmer for at least a half an hour or more if you can. And when you let it simmer, have it down on low. Because when it simmers, all these ingredients have a chance to marry together and they make some good love in that pan. You bet they do. Let your sauce simmer next time you make spaghetti. Cornbread right into the oven, and just like so, about 20 minutes. What I always like to do is I'll take this wok here that I boiled my noodles in, and I'm going to use this wok to mix our meat sauce and our noodles, because once you put the noodles in, it makes more. And so it won't fit in that pan any longer. So here's what we're going to do. Take your noodles, your desired amount, but make sure that you're doing an even amount. Even amount of noodles, even amount of sauce. You don't want it to be super saucy and there's no noodles in, right? Or you don't want to have a ton of noodles and there's not enough sauce. So kind of balance it out. And I always like to tell everybody, start off with a little bit of noodles, and then you can see how much more you're going to need. Let's get this sauce. Let's move this. Get the sauce right into our noodles. Give it a nice mix and see what we're looking like, okay? This pan is super heavy. Look at that. Oh my goodness, make you some. So you can see the spaghetti. That sound right there, I live for that sound. I don't know anymore. I'm getting closer and closer to making my favorite spaghetti, and that's a Haitian spaghetti. But now this spaghetti that I'm speaking of, it has sardines in it. And I know some of you can't wrap your brain around it, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's the most delicious spaghetti you have ever tasted. And if you don't like sardines, because I know a lot of people don't, you could always use the hot dogs for the Haitian spaghetti. When I tell you it is delicious, Haitian food has literally turned me out. I love it. Every recipe that they have, super delicious. We're gonna need some more noodles. So let's go ahead and put some more in, making sure we're not putting too much in. And guess what else we're gonna do right now? We can go ahead and do it now. Parmesan cheese, and I always like the kind that's in the shaker bottle. Some of you like the fresh Parmesan. This is the kind that I love. It makes your spaghetti taste amazing. Don't put too much in. Keeping in mind that this does have some salt in it. Just that little top layer right there makes a difference. The cornbread is smelling good right now. She is in all her glory. Jeannie Young spaghetti made just right. Now listen, here's what I'd like to do. Because our noodles have cooled down a little bit, we're gonna put it back onto the stove, onto low, with a lid put halfway on so we don't create steam in here. And we're gonna warm it back up. In the meantime, between time, we're waiting on cornbread to come out, and then we're gonna slather it with butter. Cornbread, let's go. Listen to me, if y'all, look at this cornbread. If you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Tell the world what Gina's doing in this kitchen pretty much every single day. And Heavenly Father, we thank you once again for this beautiful meal and your hedge of protection. Amen. Once again, to my beautiful prayer, I want y'all to take one more look. I'm not gonna plate this up. I'm gonna take some right now. I'm just going in for one bite, that's all. I'm not double dipping. Watch yourself, worry about yourself. I'm gonna taste this. When I tell you, this right here is so delicious. You're gonna love this recipe. Thank you, son.